very interesting new report out at Digiday, which is an advertising, basically, publication, and it tracks how the media industry is changing. And they are noting something that I think we've noted here for a little bit of a long time, that there's no antagonist. News outlets mull the possible end of their editorial and business side Trump bump bonanza. This is actually from Steven Spielberg. He's a great media reporter. He used to work at BuzzFeed. And what he basically lays out here is that he's talked to multiple different publications, subscription, click-based, and many others who are basically dreading the loss of Donald Trump, because the truth is the Obama era, especially the late Obama era of 2015 and 2016, was boring for cable. All of their, the Ana Navarros, The View, the explosive panels, all of that stuff, that's only a recent creation. I know it feels like it's forever, and in a way it has been, but so much of the CNN explosive panels having like the Trump guy or Rick Santorum fight with somebody else, a lot of that is going to be something of yesteryear in the not too far future if Biden becomes president, and they really don't know what to do because their antagonism, the New York Times, like, we tell the truth with these huge billboards in Times Square, Washington Post. I see people in D.C. walking around with Washington Post T-shirts, which is so lame, number one.
That's so DC.
Imagine being in a bar and having a Washington Post T-shirt. It's like, you suck.
No, they interviewed Jonathan Klein, who was the former president of CNN, who was basically let go when the ratings tanked.
That's right.
In one of those previous eras. And he says, what would go away is the bad guy in the story. There's no antagonist. So what are we tuning in for? Grandpa is a nice guy. Everybody might be relieved to not watch as much cable news anymore and go find a book to read, a garden to plant, or a socially distanced walk to take, which might be a better thing for all of our blood pressure for the country. But in terms of their ratings and their profit margins, it's really bad. And I can tell you, I saw some of this arc and trajectory from my vantage point at MSNBC. There was a real bottoming out, especially in the second Obama term.
That's right.
Because there was the excitement around the first term and the great ratings for that, and it's exciting, and the new, like, a lot of drama there, and the financial crisis and all that. And then you had the election with Mitt Romney, that was still exciting. And then once Obama gets elected again, people are like, okay, we're good, we got it,
fine,
move on,
check out.
And there was very little, and this is one thing that I think is different this time around. There was a little critique from the left of Obama. There's still little critique from the left of Obama, because he's one of these people that, it's very sensitive to critique in any way. But the media landscape, the alternative media landscape, is totally different this time around. So where's the energy going to be? I think it's going to be in two places. One, look, the right, Fox News is going to know what to do in a Biden administration all day long.
Already they have the highest ratings on television, not cable, not news, television.
Cable, all of cable. So they'll know what to do. They'll roll out the same playbook about these transforming America and Marx and whatever. You know what that's going to look like. But I think this time around, uniquely in independent media, there will be much more of a concerted critique of, and I think there will be a lot of energy, I'm hoping, on the left to hear that critique. I don't think people are just going to go along with it and be like, oh, Joe Biden's amazing and everything he does is wonderful and Democrats are so great and they're always the good guys and Republicans are the bad guys. But that dynamic is not likely to exist. Like, MSNBC doesn't know how to do that thing.
That's right.
They just elevated Nicole Wallace, who is the most sycophantic Biden fan I've ever seen in my life. Remember that interview she did with him? It was disgusting.
Yes.
So MSNBC is not going to really know how to have that dynamic and that tension. I think it's very open what CNN will ultimately do in the Biden era. I heard some rumors that they're wanting to bring in some actual lefties. Wouldn't it be interesting if they actually got to the left of MSNBC? Not because of any sort of values and they think that your voice deserves to be heard. Simply as a business decision, I could see it happening.
I could see it happening. I still think, though, that they've lost so much credibility with any alternative audience that it's going to be, like you said, Fox. It's going to be the rise of Fox. It's going to be the rise of the alternative. And CNN and MSNBC are just going to be increasingly irrelevant. CNN having tied so much of their
crossed for the future.
I also think that too. But CNN having banked so much of its credibility, and they tell it like it is, anti-Trump, the Chirons, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, all these other people, and then MSNBC doing the same thing. What's the point? Why do you want to tune into that, right? Nobody does. It's not the antagonism and so much more. And it also reminds me of this hilarious clip from The Weekend with Brian Stelter, who is an absolute clown. And what he did on his show, where he was he basically put forward the idea that there has been no network that has been antagonistic to Trump. Yeah, and that was said seriously. Let's take a listen to what he said.
When you see entire media companies essentially exist to tear down Joe Biden, is there an equivalent to that on the left tearing down Trump?
There really isn't. And, what I would say, it's really a diet of this type of information that a lot of these voters are getting. A lot of the voters that I talk to, I can, when I interview them, I do hear them saying a lot of the talking points that sound very familiar from some of these shows, which I try to listen to when I'm out on the campaign trail or when I'm at home, watching TV. You can hear these comments being echoed by voters, and that this is the diet that they're on. AM radio, conservative talk, also social media. I mean, the Trump campaign is running a full-blown campaign on social media that is completely off the radar for a lot of regular media is not covering this. But I mean, you have folks, Laura Trump, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Katrina Pearson. The campaign is running, kind of a parallel campaign online.
Yes, so because they're running a campaign online, that means that for CNN and MSNBC's relentless Trump coverage doesn't matter whatsoever. That's so ridiculously stupid.
How dare they try to win? That's crazy. Campaigning? How could they? It's outrageous.
I mean, what benefit does this do anybody? Everybody knows that's a lie.
Well, I just love the level of self-delusion.
Yeah,
I think he really believes it. I really think so. And here's my thing, too, is what's so frustrating to me is that on the one hand, every story is Trump is bad. Every story is Trump is bad or Democrats are good. Every story. That's the moral of every story, right? On the other hand, they have been so bad at actually critiquing him on the things and pressing him on the things that he should get pressed on. And you point this out all the time, the ways that he's been a failure to his own base that elected him, the ways that he's let down the working class people that he claimed to care about. Very little on that. And on the flip side, Joe Biden, right, Fox is doing their thing and he's the radical Marxist, et cetera. He also gets very little scrutiny on the things that he actually should get scrutiny over whatsoever. So there's a high level, an impressive level of delusion going on there that I really want to applaud them for.
Congratulations, CNN. All right.
Tomorrow on Rising, author Christian Parenti is going to join us to talk about his new book, Radical Hamilton, Economic Lessons from a Misunderstood Founder. I'm really excited about that one. We're going to get an update as well from the Trump campaign and have all the latest from here in D.C.
And remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, don't forget to like and share as well. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys.